All right, another day, another lesson, another day wearing the same hoodie. It's hard, you guys, when it's chilly out. Don't you just want to put on your same hoodie? I have other clothes, maybe someday I will read them to you, and maybe some other day I'll read them to you. Are we rolling here? Or is this thing on? God did not create a meaningless world. That's what the lesson we're on today. Lesson 14. God did not create a meaningless cookie either. All right. So what's going on here? If God didn't create this shithole, who did? It was us. It was us, you guys. We did this. So I only have 3 pages of notes today. Because I don't know, it just was kind of to the point. I did not doodle as much as I am capable of. I hung out with Tina Jesus this morning. Now, right now it's in the afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon hangout for A Course in Miracles. Thanks for joining me. This morning seems like a while ago because, I recorded a podcast in between writing these notes. I went and picked up my Walmart order. I mean, shout out to Walmart pickup. You make my life, honey, where you at, honey? Honey, where you at? You make my life easier. Thank you, Walmart pickup. And A Course in Miracles is also gonna make my life easier eventually. It already has, but I have eventually written on the notes today because Jesus said, eventually we are going to get the ultimate freedom from this earth plane. So some big things were said. I do remember that. Some big things were said today. And I thought, whoa, we are getting deep. So I'll read you the notes here. I like but don't like the lesson today, but like the lesson today, but also don't like the lesson today. You close your eyes and think of all the horrors in the world that cross your mind. So if you didn't read your lesson, push pause, read lesson 14 today. I have a playlist with an audio version of it. Tina Jesus is Tina will read it to you on that playlist. Everything's in the description box, okay? Or get a book or download the app that I also have linked. But read lesson 14 so you know what the heck I'm talking about here. So yeah, you're supposed to close your eyes and think of all the horrors. So I don't really like to do that. However, I'm not a dummy. I know even though I don't like to think about horrors, sometimes I do anyways. Sometimes I create my own. Sometimes I worry about things that may never happen. Sometimes I get really disturbed at what does happen in this world, especially when it comes to kids. You hear bad things happen to kids, that torments me. So, so what we're doing today is closing our eyes, and then we're basically denying its reality because God does not create horrors. And so I would say, God did not create that car crash, and so it is not real. God did not create that child molestation, and so it is not real. Whatever it is that you don't like, I guess that's the way to say it, whatever it is that arouses fear in you, your personal assortment of horrors. But anyways, the thing about today, because this is our personal hell that we keep on creating in our mind anyways. So we're supposed to deny its reality and say it's not real because God didn't create it. God did not create a meaningless world. So it's kind of an interesting lesson, absolutely. In a way, the only reason I do like it is because this could be a way for us out of our minds, out of our fears, by saying that it's not real, making us feel better, that it really does not exist. If we are truly at home, still in heaven with God, and this is just a dream, all this horrible shit is not real. So in a way, it's comforting. In a way, I don't like to even think about it at all. Anyways, that's lesson 14. Do we read you the notes now? Yeah, read the notes now. Ooh, notes and notes and notes. Here's my messy notes. Tina Jesus today was like, congrats, y'all. You're 2 weeks in. Definitely talked about being patient today, because I don't think we realize that we are undoing big time stuff. And that's what Jesus said. We are undoing decades of indoctrination of a lazy mind. He didn't say that, but I'm just calling it out. We are undoing decades, and he even sort of put in there and lifetimes. I know that takes it to a different level, but it's like, listen, think about it. How old are you? You don't have to tell me. But you got all that to undo. So be patient. And yeah, you may have come into this lifetime with stuff that needed undone. So this is Tina number 14. This lesson is great for things that disturb you, and your ego will probably be triggered at this point if it hasn't been, because it wants you to quit. It doesn't like being challenged. It does not like to hear that our world is not reality, right? The ego's like, oh, but this is where I live. So it's not going to like some of this stuff. So just be patient. Don't rush it. Things like that was said. Reality is oneness. So this world that we live in is not reality. And see, that's going to probably, like, everybody be like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm here, you're here, I'm listening to you. Like, how can it not be real? But in the Course, the word reality is referring to your oneness with all that is. So real reality is oneness with all that is. But this world is not real reality. We might think it is, but according to the Course, it's not. So reality is oneness with all that is. The higher frequency stuff, yeah, God, love, heaven. So be patient, because the Course is leading us to that. The Course is leading to health, happiness, joy, and eventually freedom from this earth plane. Yeah, that's what Jesus said. So anyways, health, joy, happiness, and then the ultimate freedom eventually. Tina Jesus, I went back and re-listened to it so I could get it accurate. And the second time I went back, I caught that Jesus said, infinite patience brings immediate results. And at first it was funny to me, because I was like, how did I miss that the first time? But when I heard it the second time, it made me laugh, because I just heard Tina say that quote the other day. Infinite patience brings immediate results. And she was talking like one of her videos that she made last week. They're going to get t-shirts printed out at channelingjesus.com. And that's the one I think that she's most excited about. Infinite patience brings immediate results. So if we can get patient, immediate results. All right, so that was Tina Jesus in a nutshell. And in a nutshell, a little teaser from the Pathways of Light. Just a little teaser here for you. It triggered a lot of questions. So God did not create a meaningless world. Well, then who the F did? So the Pathways of Light will talk about that. If you're starting to have questions, I know on their website they have Q&A and questions, and of course the Miracles Made Simple section. So it's okay to do these lessons and then go looking for your answers, and read the text, read the book, go to pathwaysoflight.org and see what else you can find out. So who the F did this? Who made this world? Me? So Pathways of Light's going to talk about that today. God is love. God is love. And separation, this world of separation that we are in right now, it is not of love. So therefore it is not real. This world is not real. This dream means nothing. So it's all right if you're hearing this and letting yourself observe yourself, your ego self, be triggered. That's kind of, I think, a natural response. So lots was said in the Pathways of Light Insight. We are love. We are love. We are love. And love is eternal. So we are love. We are eternal. We are supposed to be feeling more love than we're feeling. I'm pretty happy right now because, I just got some fresh air and sunshine, and I'm kind of laughing because I don't even think I washed my face yet today. But that's okay. It's fine. I'll wash it eventually. Eventually I will get freedom from this earth plane, and eventually I will also wash my face. Okay. So I'm trying to be light today because I know that the world needs us to be more light. The world needs us to be more loving. Just to mix in my other worlds, like my Herb Oracle podcast, the trees were like, listen, you need to be more playful. You could be feeling much better. You could be having more fun. So that's why I like this lesson 14. In my book, it says key lesson 14. Some versions, this whatever version this little book is, the Advent of a Great Awakening, whoever printed this, New Christian Church, A Full Endeavor, Barnes and Noble, I don't know. But anyways, some of their lessons, they have key in front of it. And yeah, like it does really kind of feel like a key thing, because it's like, how are we ever going to get us out of our own personal hells of suffering in our minds? And understand that, like, we did this. So anyways, that's kind of what the Path of Lights is going to get into a little bit. But in my own personal stuff, I really am trying to bring in the love. I'm really trying to tap into that. I'm really trying to have fun. I'm really trying to be more less separated. Be more less separated. Separated. Do you really talk as like a semi job? Listen to me. This is what happens when I leave the house. So anyways, let's read, listen to the Pathways of Light. I already read it. I posted earlier in the morning so that you don't have to wait for that, and I get a chance to read it before everybody is awake and making noise. Do you hear that? I asked them to be quiet. They're not. Pathwaysoflight.org. Welcome to the reading, A Course in Miracles Workbook Lesson 14, Insights. God did not create a meaningless world. With this lesson, Jesus is bringing us an important step in our process of returning to love. Love, our source, is changeless. Love is eternal. Love is formless. Love is everywhere. Love is all. Therefore, what is not love is an illusion. It is not real. Image making or projecting thoughts that are unreal, different from love, can never really replace love, even though it appears to do so for a while. Part of the waking up process is to clearly recognize that making up images of a world of separation is not real. Separation is not of love. Separation is the opposite of love. Separation is not a sin because in truth it never happened. It could never be real. Separate bodies could never be real. Private minds could never be real. This world that appears so real to us is not real. Thank goodness we could never make separation real. Thank goodness we are still love. Thank goodness we are still as God created us, and dreams of separation mean nothing. I need to apply this lesson constantly in my life. I need to remember that only love is real. I need to be willing to let my mind be healed today. It is worth the diligence. It is worth the practice. Heaven is my true inheritance. This substitute is not my home. Returning to my true home requires that I forgive or let go of what is not true and could never be real. The idea and exercise for today can bring up a variety of emotions. For some, it might be a relief to know that God is not the cause of the death, destruction, and injustices we perceive in the world, because then we do not need to fear God. For others, it may be a shock and raise more questions. If God did not create this world, who did? Who is responsible for all the disasters and pain and suffering in this world? The hidden meaning behind responsible is blame. The ego is always looking for something or someone to blame, to project guilt onto. The shock comes because this idea challenges what we have been taught to believe. Others may experience dismay because this idea undermines the sense of identity that comes from believing we understand, or at least partially understand, what the world means and how it came to be. It can lead to questions like, if God did not create this world, why am I here? Am I meaningless? These questions also stem from the ego, trying to establish an identity in images that are not real. Some of us may experience all of these emotions and more when we face the idea that God did not create a meaningless world, and so it is not real. Yet this idea helps us open our minds to new meaning, to the recognition of God as love and nothing else. It also prepares the way for us to recognize ourselves as love and nothing else, for we were created by love. At this point, it is not necessary that we recognize the full import of this statement. That will dawn upon us as our minds are open to the loving instruction of our inner teacher. At this time, we need only practice the exercise, trusting that it will do its part in opening our minds to the recognition of ourself as God created it. Holy Spirit, wash me clean of sin and doubt. Allow thy love to fill my mind and heart. I allow the love of my beingness to extend to the meaningless world I made in separation. pathwaysoflight.org. All right, so thank you for listening to that. Pretty quick today, wasn't it? So yeah, lesson 14, it says right in it, the world you see has nothing to do with reality. It is of your own making and it does not exist. Surely that's going to ruffle somebody's feathers, like, what do you mean the world doesn't exist? But hey, this is A Course in Miracles, and just be open to this completely different way of thinking, if for no other reason that it's going to help you get out of fear, your own personal hell, or shared illusions, right? A lot of us are sharing these hells together. And what's it going to take? Well, that's why we're doing these lessons, to kind of understand that we did this, we made it, but it's okay because it's not even real. And that's really kind of hard to wrap your head around. Absolutely. So anyways, you just take the little bits that really comfort you. I think that's a good idea too. And, if part of your tormenting tormented mind is like, worrying about death and getting hurt and losing loved ones. Like, I think that's just motivation to get closer to love. Because once you get into that frequency and intelligence of love, like we talked about the other day, then you'll know that love is real, love is eternal, love is God, love is everlasting, and we are love. So we are everlasting, we are eternal, we are of God. And so that should bring great comfort. All right, well, I'll see you tomorrow, 15 days tomorrow. I'm like super proud of us. Okay, bye.